It is day 3 of the Fall Garden Challenge. Today it is time to make a planting plan for at least one of your beds for your fall garden. So we're going to take the categories we developed in day 2, leaves, roots, and fruit, and we're going to use that to help us make a planting plan. Now, in general, the leaves, roots, and fruit doesn't just work for time estimation for your plants, it also works for the spacing that these plants need. There's a reason why I turned this whole thing into a book called Leaves, Roots, and Fruit. You can still get it if you haven't yet. So the leaves are going to take up about 1/9 of a square foot per plant, unless you're growing something big like kale, which we're going to count more like a medium-sized plant. Medium-sized plants take up about 1/4 of a square foot. That's going to be all your root crops. And then your fruiting crops, we're going to give those at least 1 square foot in the garden. All right? So we go from 1/9 square foot for leaves to 1/4 for roots to 1 square foot for fruiting plants. Now, if you grow the Gardenary way, which is something we teach inside of Kitchen Garden Academy, you're going to put all these plants together pretty closely. So we like to pack the large plants. Generally, if you're working in a wide bed, they're going to go down the center. Then in the middle of the beds, you're going to plant your root crops. Those are your medium-sized plants. And then on the outside of the bed, you're going to plant your leaf plants. Those are going to go along the border of the bed. So you're going to take these spacings and you're going to create little circles. So you're going to create a large circle for your large plant. Then inside that large circle, you'll have about 4 circles that measure about that of a medium-sized plant. And then imagine like 9 circles that would equal that one large plant. You're going to take those measurements and start to feel out what a planting plan could look like using the Gardenary intensive planting method. Like I said, we deep dive into this inside of Kitchen Garden Academy, but for now, start to imagine what a planting plan would look like that basically leaves no space between the plants. So every little space is covered either with a leaf, a root, or a fruit. So one example for a cool season plant, peas in the center, then French breakfast radishes, and then lettuce all around the exterior. So that's a simple planting plan everyone can use for their cool season. Now it's your turn to create a planting plan that works for you too. Remember, if you have more than 60 days in your warm season before that first frost date, then you're going to create a planting plan for your warm season. And then you're also going to create one for your cool season. And if you are pushing all the way till December before you have a first frost date, you'll simply be creating a planting plan just for your warm season. All right, so it is time to get out your workbook, get out a pen, get out a pencil, some watercolors, some crayons, whatever inspires you to create a beautiful planting plan and make that happen for your fall garden. All right, that concludes today's Fall Garden Challenge. Be sure that before you walk away from this video, you make at least one planting plan. If nothing else, just copy the one that I just gave you. Remember, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that's not going to be us. All right, I will see you tomorrow on day 4. It's going to be awesome. I'll see you there.